This conference will now be recorded.
What is our last class?
I think we're finished with operators and functions, and finally we were in we were saying something about pass, continue, break statements.
Okay,
Yeah.
so as of now, we done the okay, control statements and operators and data types basic concepts and Python basic built-in functions and user-defined functions. I think till that particular part we done, right?
Yes.
Mhm. Okay, so today is Wednesday, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, so instead of waste of much time, I would like to talk about data types concepts. Okay, so here, we already discussed about data types, right? Like, it's like string, list, tuple, set, dictionary, and integer, float, and see, these are the data types we done it, but it was, basic level, like, basic level in the sense it's a representation part only we done it. Okay, like what is dictionary? It's just a maintaining some record that we know it actually. But when comes to the set, so when coming to the set, then so which is collection of some elements with inside of the curly braces, only this particular part it, right? But every data type, it may having some kind of built-in functions or else built-in methods to manipulate that particular data. And so it may, every data type, it might having some kind of properties, right? So this week, today and tomorrow and day after tomorrow, this 3 days, I would like to try to finish it, this string, list, tuple, and set and dictionary. Okay, see, instead of waste of much time, I think so you guys are following very well. So I already discussed some concepts. I already discussed about string, list, tuple, set, and dictionary for some other batch actually. Okay, so I'm uploading the code from here and I just explain the code here. Okay, I mean, it's just I can explain the functions wise instead of typing and writing. It will waste of much time. So would you like to go for, so discuss about a string data type first, then after we'll go for the list, then tuple, then set and dictionary. um so first we'll concentrate on, yeah, yeah, so this is the, okay, so string data type. Okay, thing for entire information is there inside of setup alarm. Okay, it's a tuple, but instead of tuple, set we need to discuss list. This is list. Python basic syntax. Okay, yes, now fine. Let's talk about string data type, guys. So you already know that, right? String means what? Achilles, tell me what is string. Achilles and Rajesh, can you please, anyone can explain what is string?
String is like a set of characters or
Yes, of course. So this kind of set of characters in Python, we can store in a four ways. Okay, either it could be single quotes. So these are all group of characters only, right? It's a set of characters, right? This all set of characters we are holding inside of the single quotes, or else inside of the double quotes, or else the single quote only we can repeat 3 times. In between the triple quotes, we can write some group of characters, okay? Or else the double quote we can repeat 3 times, and within that one we can write some group of characters. So this is the 4 ways we can represent the string data type. Is it clear my point?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so here my question is, what is the difference between these things then? So if you're able to go for representing the string in 4 ways, then what is the difference? What is the difference between one after one? No, can anyone explain it if you already know it, that information? So this is the 4 ways we can represent, but coming to the difference is, so for example, I want to be store multiple lines. I just want to store the multiple lines. Okay, so it's not possible in case of single quote or double quote. For example, if you're using the single quotes or double quote, okay, I want to store the multiple lines inside of the single quotes or inside of the double quote. It's not possible. Okay, so because of that one, we would like to go for the triple quotes. So let me consider here either single quoted triple quote or double quoted triple quote. For example, if you want to be store the multiple lines, you want to maintain some paragraphs. Okay, so if you want to maintain some paragraphs, it's not possible in single quotes and double quote. But in triple quote and double quoted triple quote, we can write the multiple lines, or we can write the paragraphs. Okay, that entire description we can store in a single quote or double quote, and then we can assign to the any one of the variable, then it could be the string data type. Clear?
Clear.
Is my point is clear or not?
Yep, it's clear.
Okay, so this is the so you just try to store the multiple lines inside of the single quotes and double quotes, then we can try to execute it. Here I stored the 2 lines within the single quotes, sorry, triple quoted single quote, triple quote, the single quotes we are repeating 3 times. Meanwhile, we're repeating the double quoted 3 times, so here you're not facing any issue. Okay, same example, if I try to do it in a single quotes or double quote, I just tried to I just tried with the double quote. If I tried with the double quote, then we might be getting an error. Okay, so this entire thing, it might be my sentence. Okay, but I want to split in the sentence into 2 lines, then so which can give thrown an error. The error is, it's a syntax error. Okay, in real time, if you want to store some documentary, or if you want to store a multiple information or huge information, okay, sentences, it's not possible actually. Okay, in a single quotes and double quote, it just maintain only single sentence, and that too it was in the same line. Okay, that is the problem we are facing in single quotes and double quotes. Okay, so in the both cases, it was giving in a syntax error. But the same program, if I executed with triple quotes, we are not getting any kind of issue. We are getting an output. I hope you clear my point.
Yep, it's clear.
For example, some situations you want to write some apostrophe s, right? I don't know. I want, so there we are using single quotes on the top of it, right? So I don't know. This is my sentence. I want to write the I don't know inside of the single quotes. So by the time I just want to use the single quotes inside of the single quote, then it could be a problem with us. That's the reason we are going through double quote actually. So inside of the double quote, we can maintain the single quote. So here inside of the single quote, we try to store the single quote. It could be an error. So that's the reason we are using the double quote to maintaining this kind of sentences as well. Okay, is this point is clear? The difference between the single quote and double quote now. Previously, combination of single quote and double quote and triple quotes, we seen the differences, right? Now in a single quote and double quote only, we are able to find the small difference here. And inside of the single quote, if you try to store the single quote, that could be an error. To overcome that one, we are going through double quote. So inside of the double quote, if you are storing some group of characters, you can maintain the single quotes as well inside of it. Clear?
Yeah.
So as
Yep.
of now, I'm not explaining anything. There is a 4 ways we can represent the string, but there is a small differences are there. If the string is having inside of the triple quotes, whether it is a double quoted triple quote or single quoted triple quote, okay, or single quoted single quotes of triple quote, okay. So there you can maintain the multiple lines, but when it comes to the single quote and double quote, there you just to maintain somewhat apostrophes or something like this, okay. That is a small difference, and I can share you this code, you don't worry about, guys. And so that is a one small difference. Now let's look for the one more. Okay, so for example, you have a string, and the string it might having some group of characters. So in Python, each and every character it is maintaining some position. So this is a position is 0, this position is 1, this position is 2, this position is 3, this position is 4, this position is 5, and so on. So if you want to access this particular positional characters with help of the indexing, with help of the position number or indexing number, we can access it actually. Okay, so if I'm giving the variable name and followed by the position number, then it can be written the, it can access that specific positional character. Is it clear? So this is the way you can access the characters from the string. We are going to be accessing only single character from the string with help of the indexing. Is it clear?
Yes.
So if you're maintaining the position from left to right, then this kind of process we are calling it a forward direction, okay, or forward indexing or negative positive indexing. But you know, the Python is supporting the negative indexing as well. That means a single positional character, it might having the two numbers positions. In a single position, it might having the two position numbers. One is the positive number, one is the negative number. Negative numbers are starting with -1 from right to left direction. -1, -2, this is -3, this is -4, this is -5, this is -6. So this is the way for each and every position, it might having the two positional numbers. One is positive number, second one is negative number. So if you're accessing the positive number, it can be left to right direction. If you're accessing the negative, if you're accessing the characters from the string from right to left. Okay. So this is forward indexing and this is negative indexing.
The forwarding starts with 0 and then
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Forward is starting with 0 and reverse which is started with -1. I mean from
Yes.
last to first.
Okay.
So this is example for the combination of the both positive and negative for the same number. For same character. A of 0 also return the P and A of -6 also return the P only because of which is the negative number position. This is positive number position. Okay, this is fine. So with help of this particular indexing position, we are accessing only one character at n short. But I want to access some substring. For example, the string it might having a lot many characters, right? I want to access some portion of characters continuously. For that one, we can use the slicing concept. So in case of slicing, so the indexing which is having the slicing which is having the okay two index positions, two index numbers, start index and stop index. So start index is mentioning that from where I need to start to access, and stop index is mentioning that to where I need to stop accessing the characters from the string. Okay, in between the start index to stop -1 index, what are the position characters are there, those characters we can access with help of the slicing concept. Clear? For example, I have a string which is Python programming language. If I'm giving the 8:11, which means the position number 8, the position number 8, the position number 9, the position number 10 we can access. 11 it cannot be accessed because of it is stop element. So it can be stop at 11 itself. So before 11, what are the characters are there? It can accessing from the start index. So that's the reason here we are going to be accessing only 3 characters, and that too the position of 8, 9 and 10. So combination of the 8 to 9, what are the characters we have it that it can be accessing as the substring. Clear? For example, if I'm giving the 19:27, which means the positions of 19 to the position characters from 19 to 26, what are the characters we have it that it can be accessing? So 19 position in the sense which is starting with 0, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So this could be 19, and this is 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So that's the reason we are going to be accessing that entire logic substring. See, unfortunately, I forgot to mention my stop index. If you're not mentioning the stop index, by default, it can be considering the length of this particular substring. Sorry, length of this particular main string. Clear? So here if we have the 27 characters are there, so by default it can be considered the 27 when we are not mentioning the stop index. By default stop index is length of that particular string. Okay, what is the main string we are considering it? Okay, so for example here my string name is a, so length of a, which is total 27 characters are there including spaces. So by default it was 27. So even if I'm giving the 27, even if I'm not giving anything, it can be giving a result is same or not. The reason is that, so if you're not mentioning the stop index, by default it can be considering the length of that particular string variable. For example, here you started with 0 and you're not started with anything. So what is the difference? I think this one and this one is the same, which is start accessing from the 0, still it can accessing 10 minus 1. Okay, so if you're mentioning the start, then it is start accessing from that particular position. If you're not mentioning the start position, then by default start position is 0. So because of that one, so the output for these two things will be Python pro and Python up pro, right? For the last one, you're not mentioning the start index, you're not mentioning the stop index, so the entire string it can be accessing as my substring. Clear? This is about slicing. Indexing help you to access only single character in two ways. One is positive, one is negative in order. Coming to the slicing, we can accessing some portion of characters from the string with help of the slicing. In between start to stop index, we can do that actually. For that one, we have to give an input for the square brackets, the position numbers with separation of colon symbol. Clear? Is this my point is clear or not?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, dicing. Dicing is another concept which is also help you to accessing the characters from the string, but not in a continuous, with some order, with some step. I'm getting my voice from your end actually. Can you please mute your systems? So this is my start index, this is my stop index, this is my step index. Okay, so in between the 5 to 14, so for every thought character we are going to be accessing. Okay, so here fifth is my starting position. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The position is a 5. So this is the 5 position. Okay, so 5 plus 3, it's 8, right? So what is the 8th position? This is 6, this is 7 and this is 8. So R is the 8th position. After that one, so 8 plus 3, it's a 14 or not? Sorry, 8 plus 3, it's 11 or not? So 11th position, this is 9, this is 10 and this is 11th position. Okay, 11 plus 3, it's a 14. 14 means this is 12, this is 13, this is a 14. Okay, so the position of 5, the position of 8, the position of 11, the position of 14. So these are the 4 characters at a time we are going to be accessing with help of the dicing concept. So this is the start index, this is stop index, this is step index. To which periodical order I need to follow it, that you can mention with help of the stepwise indexing characters we can access. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. For example, if you are not mentioning the start, you already know it by default, which is 0. And if you're not mentioning the stop, by default it can be considered as the your end of, I mean length of that particular variable. If you're not mentioning the start, if you're not mentioning the step, then it can be considered by default value is the 1. So start by default value is the 0, and the step by default value is the 1, and stop by default value is length of that particular variable. This is not constant, it can be changed based upon the value or based upon the string elements, number of elements in the string. Clear?
Yep, it's clear.
Okay. So if you're not mentioning the anything, it can be considered as the 1. So 5 plus 1 6, 6 plus 1 7, 7 plus 1 8. So this is the way continuous characters we can accessing from start to stop when you're not mentioning the step. So this is about dicing. So this is fine. So with help of the length function, we can find the total number of characters in the string. There are 8 characters are there. And for example, if we have the string, if you want to concatenate the 2 strings, then we can use the plus operator, a plus b in the sense 5. So first will be the a variable a string, and second will be the b string. Both can be concatenated, but a plus b, which is not equal to the b plus a. So Python program is different, program Python is different, right? So here you got a space. Careful, observe here. Here we have a space, right? Here we have a space because of here you mention it. Here we have a space. This is the space will be considering over here. Okay. But here also we have a space, but it is not visible because of space can't be, we can't see it, right? So this is about plus operator. And you know, when we are using the multiplication operator on a string, so you can do only multiplication with a scalar, not with a string. So here a is my string, and when you're doing the 5, then that means the a, it can be repeated 5 times. That is the meaning of the star here. Okay. So Python into 5 in the sense, Python can be repeated 5 times. Python 10 in the sense, Python into 10 in the sense, Python is repeated 10 times. So here we have a keyword, in keyword. You already know that what is the use of it. It's a special, it's a membership operator, whether the my b is available in a or not. So here the gram is my b variable, which contains the 4 characters. This 4 characters continuously, which is available or not. It's available in my a. So when we are using the in operator, internally we have a method is there, underscore underscore contains underscore underscore. This is the function is doing the functionality of the in keyword. Clear? So that's the reason these 2 cases it was returns the true. So gram is there inside of the Python program as a substring, so that in operator is returns the true, but in operator underscore underscore contains underscore underscore is doing the same thing. So that's the reason which is returns the true for the both cases. Now, so we have a max function is there. So this is the max function, and min function will help you to find out the biggest character from the string, from this particular string. So Python means it's alphabetical order, right? So when you are arranging the characters in alphabetical order, so which one is the last, then that we are considering as the max, which one is the small first one, that we can consider as the min. So here y could be the biggest character when you're comparing with this particular group of characters, right? Let me consider if I'm using the capital Y, then what happens? So here capital Y is the small. So you try to observe the small difference between So this string is also Python, this string also Python, but here it is a capital Y, but here it is a small y. Okay, for this example, capital Y, which is a smaller than when you're comparing with other characters, because of every character which is having its ASCII number. So lowercase or uppercase characters, uppercase ASCII characters are very smaller than the lowercase characters ASCII values. Is it clear? So if you have any question, then you just Google it, ASCII table in Python or ASCII table. You just Google it, ASCII table. Okay.
Can you explain
So
that one more time, actually?
I will do that. I will do that.
Okay. Thank you.
can you hear me? Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So is capital A is big or capital Y is big
Capital Y.
or capital A which is bigger?
Capital A is a very small. Capital Y is a bigger. When
Okay.
you're comparing with capital A and capital Y, okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So
capital
I
A
thought.
is the small, capital Y is the big. So you can
Okay.
see this
Fine.
ASCII table.
Yeah.
So C indicating that it's a character. So so you can decimal numbers. Okay. A. So the ASCII value of the A is 65. Okay. B is 66. C is 67, and so on. Okay. And capital Y is the 89. Meanwhile, we have a smaller case characters, right? Smaller case characters are starting with 97. See, 97, 98, 99, 100, and so on. Okay, till 122 something else. Z could be the 122. So in a keyboard, what are the characters we have it? For every character which is maintaining some ASCII numbers, so you don't need to remember it, but try to understand. So you just need to know this thing actually. So every character which is having its own ASCII value. Okay, so here capital characters are starting characters, right? So that it could be the very smaller than the uppercase characters ASCII values are very smaller than the lowercase ASCII values. Okay, so in this particular situation, you need to understand smaller case characters are the smaller than the uppercase characters. Sorry. Uppercase characters are very smaller than the lowercase characters. Now it's clear.
Is there a function in Python that can tell that
Of
can give
course,
you the value of
we have it. Okay, so just a final conclusion for my satisfaction. I misused the sentence. So clearly observe here, in an ASCII format, uppercase characters are smaller than the lowercase characters. Clear now? So you just see these things. These are the numbers for uppercase characters. These are the numbers for the lowercase characters. So you have to compare these two things. So even you're giving the smaller case or uppercase, the computer can be considering these numbers only. So when you're comparing with 65 and 97, which one is the big? Which one is the big? 97 is the big, right?
Yep.
So that's the reason lowercase characters are the bigger than the uppercase characters. So we have a function for that. I just want to show you those functions. Okay. Here only I can show you. So we have a function is ORD. Okay. So print ORD is the function. So this ORD, we just give you a character, a single character. then it can be written as the ASCII value for that. So capital B meanwhile, and capital Y, you can give you capital Y and capital Z. See, what is the table I mentioned, I showed you in the previously, that particular values only we are getting here. Okay, 65 to 90, this position numbers are okay fixing with this particular uppercase characters in a computer language. Now we can give you a smaller case characters. If I'm giving the smaller case characters, small a, small b, small c, small d. So small a and small b, which is 97 and 98, and small 99 and 100. For example, this is small y and this is small z. So this is order. Order it is not changing. Which is started with 97, it can be ends with 122 in between a to z. Okay, clear, right? So you have to compare these numbers. So when a string which might be contains the both uppercase and lowercase, that particular situation, the smallest characters are the lowercase character. The smallest characters are uppercase characters. So here y is the smaller than the h. So that's the reason here we are getting the minimum character is capital Y and max character is t. But this example, all are smaller case letters, so that biggest character is Y, smallest character is H. I hope you clear my point.
Yes, I understand now. Thank you.
Yep. So you know what? For example, you have a string. You have a string. So the string which might having some data. Okay. So what I want to do now, I want to replace. Actually, it's a th, but unfortunately in my computer I mistyped it. Like R I used it. So I want to change this R by T. Okay. So the R position is it's a 2, right? The R position is 2, right? So with help of the indexing, I just want to try to change because of only one character is missed, right? So the spelling is incorrect. So I just want to write as H. So which is not possible. Which is not possible because of once if you are fixing the characters in a string or in a variable, so in individually we can't be modified. Okay, so this kind of operations we're calling it same indexing updation, that it is not possible, so that it's a mutable data type. Mutable data type, string is the mutable data type, which means once if you're assigning the characters to one particular variable, so if you want to change one specific character by another character with help of the indexing, which is not possible. So if you even if you try it, we will get an error. But by any cost I want to be modified. I want to be modified at any cost. For the time you don't have any option, we need to rewrite it. That's it. We don't have an option to modify only one character with help of the indexing. If you want to modify that, you have to be read entire string into same variable. So this is the way only we can do that. So this kind of operation we're calling it's a mutable. So indexing assignment is not possible. So that's we are calling it's a mutable data type. Clear?
Yep, it's clear.
So is there I missed anything here? Till here? Right. Everything is done as of now. For example, you have a string, right? The string, it is having some methods. These all methods we are calling it say manipulation methods. So these all manipulation methods, you don't need to be create yourself. You just use these methods as per our requirement. Okay. So here, when I try to use the plus operator, so this plus operator in case of string, it can help you for concatenation. For that one, internally we have a method is underscore underscore add underscore underscore. Okay, So when I used the plus, internally this is the method only invoke, so that both we are getting the same output. So when you want to compare the two operators, or when you want to compare the two strings, then we can use the comparison operators like equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than. So this kind of operations we can do that, right? For each and every operator, internally we have a method. Those methods are, it's a special method which is started with underscore underscore and ends with underscore underscore. So equal symbol for that one, we can have a underscore underscore eq underscore underscore. You can see this particular method inside of this particular group of methods. See, here we have it. So, you know, like this, we have other comparison also we can do it. But other than these methods, we have some manipulation methods is there. For example, capitalize. Capitalize means, so if we have a sentence, the first the first characters, the first character of the sentence is can be converting into the uppercase character. Rest of all characters are converting into smaller case characters. These all characters are converting into smaller case. Only the first character is converting into uppercase character. That is the meaning of the capitalize method. Clear?
So what would you do if you want to capitalize the second one?
Sorry?
So if you want to capitalize the P
Second
in program, what
one.
would you do then?
So you want to be okay, for second one, if you want to make it as a capitalize, it's not
Yeah,
possible. So
it's
the
not possible.
not possible, but again we can do some lot of operations like, you know, for loop, or else, you know, so because of one character manipulation is not possible. Even, you know, even you're not manipulated your entire string, the original string, it is you're not modifying. You just see here, this is the capitalize method. We just return the some output. That output is first character is capital letter, rest of all characters are the smaller case letter. But my original string, you're not at all modified because of Python is mutable data type.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so sorry, I misused the name. It's not mutable, it's immutable. Okay, immutable data type.
Okay.
So immutable in the sense we can't be modified. So because of that one, even you capitalize it as a first character, but you're not manipulated, you're not change it, the original string. The original string, it's remain same. So when we are using the lower method, so this lower method, a dot variable name and lower method, if I use it, then all characters are converting into smaller case characters. The string, it might come, it maybe combines the both the upper and lower. So but I want to make it a string as an all characters are into smaller case letter. For that one, we can use a lower method. And we have a upper method, it can help you to convert all characters are into uppercase character. But even though you're not changing my original namespace, it remains same. So for example, swap case in the sense uppercase characters are converting into lowercase characters, lowercase characters are converting into uppercase characters. Clear? So title
Yep.
is method. So the functionality of the title is each and every word of the first character is capital letter. Rest of all characters are the smaller case letters. Okay. So you just see this is the capital P and here also capital P. So rest of characters are the smaller case characters. That is the meaning of the title. Okay. So zfill is the method. You're going to filling the zeros at left side. For example, width is already 6. If my resultant width is 10, so 10 minus 6, how much? 4, right? 4 zeros, it could be added at the left side. Clear or not? So if you given a length or width is 10, which means the resultant string length at minimum is 10 characters. Minimum is 10 characters, but unfortunately my original string length is 6. So rest of the 4 characters, you're going to be adding only zeros. That is the meaning of the zfill. For example, my original string is 6, but my resultant width I want 5 only, but original string is more than the my resultant string, right? So that's the reason. So the original string only we will be go for getting as an output. So we are not filling any zeros. You're getting original string. If width is very smaller than the original string. Okay. So center in the sense, this entire string, it can be in a center position. Left side and right side, we are going to be adding some position. Is here your choice. Here the character is your choice, and here width also your choice. But after you put this particular entire string in the middle, then my resultant width, it should be this particular number. Okay. So here 10. So total 6. Total number of characters here 6. Left side and right side, two characters we are going to be adding, and that too it's a this particular character only, because of you mention as the a, so that we are adding only a at right side and left side. So if it is 11 is the odd, right? So it's not possible to make it exactly center, but one character it can be added to the left side. So this is the center. So your ultimately this middle, this particular string, it should be in the middle. That is the meaning of it, not exactly center. It should be in the middle. So when I use it, the count method, if I'm giving input for some character to this particular count method, how many times this character was repeated in this particular main string, then that is the count of it. Okay. So count of Z in the sense, if the count Z is not there in this particular group of characters, so that it was returns the 0. So index, I just want to know the index position of the characters in my string. So y, which is repeated, the y the occurred in the position of 1, so that you will be getting result here 1. Okay. So the position of o, which is there in a 4th position. So here we have it. So the position of o is 4. So this is the way you can use the index to find out the position of any character. But if the character is not found, then what happens? It can be returns the value error. So when we use the index, make sure that whatever the character you're going to be checking the index position, that character must be available. If it is not available, then you will be getting an error. So to overcome that one, we can have a function is find method. So find and index will be written the same thing, position number, but the difference is if the character is not found, if the character is not found in this particular main string, then it can be returns the -1. That is the use of the find method. Okay. Split method, whatever the string you have it was splitting into different words. And here default it was considering the space. For example, here we have underscore is there. For each and every word we are separated with underscore. But when we are using the split, this entire string, it can be considered as the only one element of the list. But we can use the splitting character. If I'm using the splitting character, it will be go for splitting this entire string into different words with underscore. I mean this splitting character. Based on the splitting character, we are going to be splitting this particular string. And meanwhile, join function, it can help you when we have a list of words, that all list of words we can combine or we can join together with help of the join method. But when we are using the space for the join, it will be giving you join of each and every word with a space. And the meanwhile, if you are using the underscore, then which is joining each and every word of this particular list with underscore symbol. Okay. These are the methods will help you to do some kind of manipulations on a string. Now, the string which just contains only digits. So whether it contains the digits or not, for that one we can use the isDigit method. It can returns the true when all characters are the digits only. For example, if at least one character it is not non-zero, then it can be returns the false. And even it is the special characters or alphabets, whatever it is, if you're storing, if you have other than digits, if it is having any character, then it could be false. So is lower in the sense all characters it must be lowercase only, then only it can be returns the true. And if it is having the space or something else, it won't make you an error. And even you don't need to worry about it, because of if and only if the string which contains the uppercase characters, then only is lower can be returned as the false. Okay, so here also is lower, which is not giving any error, it was try to returns the true, and here also it was returns the true, here also it was returns the true. The reason is that it doesn't have any kind of uppercase characters. If we have at least one uppercase character, is lower can be returns the false. Meanwhile, is upper also will doing the same thing. Okay, if the string is having at least one lowercase characters, then it can be returned the false. For rest of the situation, it can be true. So is alpha, it means it just having only alphabets, either uppercase, either lowercase. Other than the alphabets, if you have a special characters, if you have a digits, then it can be error, it can be false. Here we have a special character, so that we are getting the false. And here we have a digit, so that we are getting the false. But if we are combination of the lowercase and uppercase, or only uppercase or only lowercase, that can be written as the true. Is all num in the sense it's combination of the both alphabets as well as numbers. A combination of the numbers, alphabets, then is all num can be written as the true, or else it may contains the alphabets, it can be written as the true. It may contains the only digits, it can be written as the true. It may only contains only lowercase characters, it can be written as the true. It may only contains the only uppercase characters, it can be written as the true. Or it may contains the both uppercase, lowercase, or digits, whatever it is, it can be written as the true. If and only if it is having any one of the special characters in main string, then is all num can be written as the false. Okay, so we have a strip method. Strip will be removing the left side and right side, okay, common elements. So here the common character is 1, so this common characters we are removing from left and right, not in the middle. For example, in Python we used 1 here, so which is just stripping, it is removing only left side and right side only, not middle character. Even middle character, even if you haven't, it can be written as the middle string. So 1 could be there here. Okay, only it can be removing the left and right only, not in the middle. Okay, that is the use of the strip method. Okay, so if we have a space, the string which just contains only space, is space can be written as the true if the string it just contains only spaces, then it can be written as the true, otherwise it can be written as the false. So this is the operations, this kind of manipulations we can do on the string. Clear? I would like to go for upload this one into our canvas. You just go and download and we can try to understand one more time. Had hello, is there any questions?
No questions. I don't have any.
Try to execute. Try to execute today's class concepts. Okay. Python basic syntax. Just want to be modify this name. Okay. So we just go and download it and we can practice it. Thank you guys. I can upload the yesterday class recording and today class recording. Okay.
Can you upload the 29th document, the notebook, if you have it?
29th document. 29th, it could be same.
I think 29th was part of control statements.
Twenty-ninth and 20 all are in the same file. That's the reason you might.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry, I confused.
Yeah. Fine. Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.